Alright, I'm back, and it looks like it doesn't matter if you're eligible for the giveaway or not because I can't do it. I don't know what the hell's going on with Nightbot, but I'm going to have to figure out what the deal is. I was hoping it was just some sort of maintenance issue yesterday that was preventing me from doing giveaways, but it seems like it's a larger problem, so apologies for that, guys, but it will have to be worked out in other times by me because I'd like to get this through before you guys are just sitting here waiting for everything. And my lag seems to be better. I don't know. There was a pretty massive issue earlier. Getting massive frame rate drops, but it seems to be alright now. Don't seem to be dropping too many frames. Everything is green and happy. So, let's go ahead and just concentrate on the game. Switchblade and Ophelia banned by Hellborn. Sorry, I thought I was going Legion. Pebbles and Parasite getting taken out by Yellow Train, so that Misery Pebbles, they're like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that anymore. And instead, they're going to give Devour, presumably, to Misery. Magma's going to be their second pick on the God damn it. 3 of them tagged up as AL. On the NR side. And Legion side, Cthulhu Open. They first pick that. No huge surprise. Pyromancer going to be their second selection, so definitely a fan of Pyromancer. You can certainly see why. It's a very good hero. Second pick material. Not really sure, but definitely a good hero. I certainly would have taken it over the Magmus, or I would have taken the Magmus over the Pyromancer. But the first pick Dev from NR is very strange as well. They're not super known for running Dev, as far as I know. It's not like they can't play it by any means, but when you first pick Devour, when Magmus and Kraken are both on the board, Tempest is on the board, and both Ophelia and Parasite are banned out, seems iffy. I mean, obviously the Tempest versus Kraken issue, because they could counterpick their Tempest with the Kraken, but that didn't hurt them last game, at least not enough. So either way, they will pick up the Legionnaire, so probably that'll be in Cookie's hands as well, headed into the woods, and they end up getting a jungler anyway. Nightmare's my things. Respect ban on Glacius. Not bad. They do have a triple strength melee core here on the Hellborn team, which is a little bit concerning. It's advantageous that they're probably going to go for a triple portal key as well, so maybe positioning is not going to be that much of an issue. But usually I like to see some range in there as well, and I wouldn't be surprised if there are some more range options left in those last 2 picks. Misery is known Devo player. Yeah. Fair. Like I said, I don't really remember NR being a massive Devourer team. Now that I think about it, okay, you're right. Misery is a Devourer player. Here's my question. Is he actually a good Devourer player? There's that. I think I remember him playing Devourer in one game that went just terribly for Night Raid. And he missed like every single hook, so well, we'll see how it goes for them. Looking to get hooks on some pretty damn elusive heroes. Cthulhu and Kraken, Pyromancer should be much easier. There'll be a lot of damage coming out from both sides, and a lot of strength on both sides also. So killing people, not going to be easy this game. A lot of tankiness. Legion side going to start out their bans with Glacius and Silhouette. So once again targeting King Plato on that Silhouette. And Glacius, Nightmares played it very, very well last game. They're like, well, you can't do that again because I don't want to give you that advantage, or the potential advantage. Hellborn side going to respond with Doctor Repulsor and Soulstealer right off the bat, as they're trying to ban out Crapula, it seems. Apparently not really feeling like they need to be concerned about the junglers. They do have Tempest still available on the board, and Legion has first pick, so Max can definitely play the jungler. He is a known Ophelia player, and wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing a first pick Tempest out of the second banning stage if they don't take it out on NR's side. Magebane, the last removal from Yellow Train, so he's putting a lot of emphasis on how heroes did in that last game. I would not say that Magebane played well enough to be considered ban-worthy material. He had a fine game, but he definitely didn't have the sort of impact that Pebbles had, that Glacius had, or even that Bubbles had. So the fact that they're leaving the Bubbles on the board here and are more concerned about the Magebane than they are about Present 25 on that Bubbles, I think is a mistake. He had an absolutely fantastic game. especially in terms of farm, considering how difficult it was for him to find areas to farm. And really probably wouldn't ban that if I were in Yellow Train shoes, but I'm not, because I am inferior to him, at least in terms of mechanical skill. He's very dumb, we all know that. Love you, Yellow Train. Sorry, he's casted before, so I am allowed to make fun of him. Wretched Hag can be the last ban from Misery, as they're removing their suicide options. It's going to be the first pick Tempest for the guys on TZP, and that will be in Mex's hands. So Ganal going to presumably be playing the hard support Pyromancer as he was on the Rhapsody last game. Likely going to see Jonathan, I would guess, on the Suicide Cthulhu. Middle lane is going to be Yellow Train playing the Kraken, and Count Crapula looking for a short lane hero. Vindicator pick. Well, ain't going to be any Tempest holes this game. They have a fair number of solid cancels to it, especially through Shrunken Head. Legionnaire and Devourer both don't really care about the Shrunken Head from Tempest. They will be able to hit Hook, the Devourer ultimate, as well as the Taunt, and interrupt that channel. But now they've got another one, as they apparently are extremely concerned about Mex and his ability to win fights with that Tempest hole. And I really wouldn't be. But I'm looking for something really, really high damage, and Malakin fits that bill. Alright, I guess Count Crapula, he has a solid game on it, and he's a good Malakin player. I might have even gone for something like TDL, who can just destroy people. Malakin definitely a high damage hero, but not as bursty as TDL is. And you look at the Hellborn team, they do have lockdown on Legion's side. They got the Kraken ultimate, they got the Tempest ultimate, they got a couple of solid stuns from Pyromancer and Cthulhu, and obviously the Fear from Malakin and the Sword Throw will help a little bit in terms of slowing and Fear effect. But in general, you look at all the tankiness in the Hellborn team and you think, that's probably going to require a really high level of damage to break through, and a hero like TDL that can reasonably get a shield breaker, reasonably get rift shards, that sort of thing, to give her ridiculously high damage output. I don't know if Malakin's the same type of hero. I guess you could get rift shards, but he already needs the Whispering Helm and the Shrunken Head and the Insanitarius. TDL obviously needs Cleave, but again, that's a good source of damage for people grouped up, so iffy. England's in this game, Yellow Train. So they last picked the Valkyrie on the Hellborn team, and they're kind of acting like that doesn't make any sense. I forgot to upload the draft image. I'm sorry, Night Raid's up 1-0, but the in-game image is completely right. So look at that. What a caster. Anyway, it's gonna be a support Valkyrie. I'm a huge fan. I really, really like Valkyrie. I think this hero is vastly underutilized. She's very good in the carry role. You can suicide her. I think you can even put her mid. You can support her. The only thing she can't really do is jungle, and I think she's going to be solid at all of those roles. I would prefer an early pick of Valkyrie because she is so useful in a number of different roles. I feel like that she doesn't make you do too much. And Zephyr, yeah, Zephyr high damage output hero. What are you even talking about? Anyway, Valkyrie Arrow after the Lava Surge can be very helpful in this bottom lane, but more importantly, I would have liked to have seen an early Valkyrie pick because it allows you to go in a number of different directions with that hero. Doesn't really lock you into too much, but having it picked late, there are usually better options on the board for whatever role you're trying to fill, especially if they're Hellborn team and you have the last pick in the game. Oh well. It'll be interesting to see how support Valk does. I'm excited. It should be fun. And she's going for the double wards plus a lot of regen here. No mana regeneration, but the health pot as well as 3 tangos, and presumably she's pulled some stuff the rest of her lanes. Interesting stuff in general, actually. LEGO going for the double shield build, which is at this point relatively out of date. I believe the hatchet build is substantially more efficient, as LEGO is much, much better in the Hellborn ones, of course, where you can chop down these trees and continuously stack and kill camps. So, Cookies plays LEGO. A little bit interesting, but not sure why he would go for this particular build. Artifice says Zephyr's a tank slayer. Okay. Okay, he is. Armor would actually be pretty interesting. Anywho. Vindicator, the other thing. And we have all sorts of interesting stuff going on. Alright, Misery's playing the mid Devo, which is typical. He played the mid Pebbles last time. We get Present 25 and the short lane Vindicator with a pretty ridiculous alt avatar. I guess, is that like Merlin, or is it just a generic wizard? That's a pretty stupid alt avatar. Anyway, so President was playing the Suicide Bubbles last game, and currently we actually have King Plato on the Magnus down here in a dual lane with Valkyrie. So Nightmare is once again playing support role, but it's King Plato transitioning to more of an initiation from his previous carry. And President 25 moving to a short lane carry type role. Asking for a remake here as Count Kraken. Well, obviously that's not going to happen because this is the actual cast of the game, and so don't need to be worried about that. They apparently put under a pause, and I guess Count Kraken will fix whatever issues he had to deal with. So we're right back into the game, and that's the value of replay casting right there, boys and girls. Or one of them. The side here, Tempest is in the middle of the woods, looking to do some farming. Obviously, up to a pretty solid start already, actually. 280 GPM, not bad at all. And perhaps a gank incoming, as he has a mana pot coming through. Currently, Glacial Blast just level 1, and they will get it onto the Valkyrie. She leaps, but in actually the wrong direction. Magnus gets the 2-man Lava Surge, and she's able to eat her way through the trees as well as take a health pot. The question is, can they block her off? Yes, they can, but she goes for the TP. Is there anything there to cancel it? You know, Pyrite's done a bit late, so very well played from Nightmares. Getting herself into a little crevice right there and getting TP on out. Not bad. In the lane, meantime, Devour actually going to get something delivered, but has to be a little careful. Hooks the Kraken back in. Ro8 is there. Will we see a blood loss off of this? And yes, we will. Jonathan not with the splash coming back up in time. His Torrent and Charge also both on cooldown. That could have enough mana anyway. Blaming pathing here. Sure. Maybe Misery is just that much better a player. Never consider that, Jonathan. Huh? Anyway, Dev gonna grab this regen rune in the top lane. Sitting there for about a minute before anybody picked it up. A little bit interesting. Top lane, meantime, looks like Cthulhu going on this Vindicator a little bit and actually getting chased down pretty damn effectively. A couple more auto attacks will finish him off. Yeah, that's gonna be a kill. So, Vindicator solo killing a Cthulhu. I did not see that coming. I think I can safely say I did not see that coming. Is Vendi the Cthulhu counter? Is that what this is? You just steal his intelligence and continuously hit him with your little book thing? Your auto attacks, I mean. Anyway, middle lane gonna be some action here as well. Kraken trying to do something against this Devourer. Hook misses. Maybe even a good thing, because if Dev had hooked Kraken back in, there's a decent chance Kraken could have just turned that around and killed him. As currently, Jonathan at 175 gold per minute, Misery at 420 GPM. So, even outside of that hook, Misery absolutely dominating this lane, and I'm not really sure why. Feels like Kraken, the tankiness to stand up to Devour, and the Splash Auto should be able to do a lot. Valkyrie will be able to get a leap away in bottom lane as they try to go on to her. Magnus really not needing to do anything. Anyway, lane once again, Misery trying to put some more harassment on this Kraken. The Kraken's just like, I'm kind of tanky, bro, but I'm going to miss a charge. And now I could be in some trouble as the Ro8 damage is doing a lot. Hook back in onto that. Devour looking for an ultimate possibly, but the Ro8 is there and he will get the kill. Turns it off, allows himself to survive. Actually has a regen rune as well. If that wasn't bad enough, he's going to get all his health back and continue to lane here. Bottom lane, Pyromancer in a lot of trouble as Legionnaire. Engineer. Somewhat similar, I guess, in the end of that name. Comes in for the gank. Level 5 is Cookies, 260 GPM, so not doing all that well, but significantly better than the opposing team jungler, which is Tempest, who's all of a sudden done at 230 gold per minute. He didn't die or anything, he's just not farming. His elementals are dying to this Minotaur. Okay, he's got 10 seconds left on his elemental cooldown, and I don't know how that happened. Anyway, not good farm for Tempest in the jungle at all, and TZP off to a pretty poor start once again. As we're jumping through pretty much the same thing as the last game. Lane Devour's just like, I don't care, I'm gonna put my ultimate on you and do a crap ton of damage. as he gets to charge away on Kraken. Hook does connect, and Kraken going to go down one more time in this middle lane. Devour off to a 450 GPM start. And both of these games, Misery has been fantastic. Obviously, not early in that first game, doing a lot. Did Cthulhu just take a mana pot, immediately get it canceled by that creep camp? That's exactly what he did, anyway. I don't know. No, speaking of Tempest, Ganal is actually the one that's playing it, and not Max. Middle lane once again, Kraken getting jumped at its Devour, and just gonna be walked down by this Ro8. Let me charge back in, but the hook is there. He's gonna land it. He's actually gonna miss it, and now Misery could be in some trouble. Auto attack will be enough. Torrent is there, and Misery is dead. So what happens when you start diving towers and missing hooks on Devour? And Jonathan getting some revenge, as the game announcer tells us. Bottom lane meantime looks like we could see some trouble. Malakin gonna sword throw his way back, gonna dodge an arrow, not bad at all. Pyramid stun does actually hit Valkyrie, but after she had already gotten a leap off, and now Tempest looking for something, puts the Glacial Blast onto Magnus, but he's gonna happily eat that and walk on away, as neither side picking up a kill. So, as this game is progressing, I'm a little bit concerned about the GPM currently. On TZP's side, you look at the Hellborn team, 2 300 GPM farmers, 1 360, that Devour, the top farmer in the game, and 264 on Cookies on the Legionnaire, which isn't particularly good, but it's much better than the Tempest, so he's fine in that regard. Actually, top lane, they will get the trample off from Cthulhu, and he's going to walk it off. No real way to lock him down and kill him. A little bit too tanky. Lego's just like, I don't really want to be part of this. Understandably. But, yeah, you look at the GPMs here, and TZP is just not farming efficiently at all. Count Crapula, their top guy, at 310 gold per minute. That's just absolutely not where you want to be. And, I mean, I don't know why. I mean, like, Kraken really should have won this middle lane. And speaking of him, he's getting the ultimate onto the Devourer and actually charges away. Cthulhu coming in here with his ultimate, trying to turn this around onto Dev, but looks like Dev might be okay. No, a couple more waves, and he's going to die. Nope, it runs out. Hook. What a hook from Misery. So I was saying before about him maybe not being the best Devourer player, which is why I didn't really remember him playing a lot of Devo, because if he was a good Devo, I probably would remember that, but I don't think he had a particularly successful Devourer. And perhaps that's indicative of why. Anyway. Top lane, present 25, 330 GPM for him. He is the second highest farmer on his team and in the game, as he's had a pretty nice time against 200 GPM Cthulhu. Once again, a situation where I feel like Vindicator probably should have lost this lane, actually. Cthulhu just such a strong laner, and if he had done this correctly, I feel like he could have forced me to get a lane. Misses the trample there as he tries to use the creeps to get the stun effect, but unsuccessful, and Vindicator just like, I'm going to start pounding auto attacks into your face. Apparently Cthulhu's okay with that. Bottom lane meantime, they're going to put the possession through onto Malakin, and he's going to walk away. I really do not think that was necessary, but maybe they were concerned about the arrow, which I guess they could have been, and the call of Valkyrie, but I don't think that even if they had put both of those abilities onto Malakin, that he would have actually been in significant danger of dying. Maybe he wanted to stop the potential eruption from coming out, but obviously that didn't happen either. Anyway, I got some roam here. Pyromancer and Cthulhu looking to set something up. Middle lane is Devourer, and he is in a solid position. He's going to get lane control back to his tower. Doesn't have any vision of the rotation from the Hellborn side, or from the Legion side, but I don't think they have the angle for this. Dev actually going to put the ultimate onto Kraken in the middle lane. Has the Ro8 there as well. Needs to land the hook if he wants to get this kill. Maybe he doesn't need to do that. He puts the Ro8, and that's going to be enough. Turns it off, and they're going to be able to do a lot of damage here. I think Devourer's going to fall. No! Auto attack would finish him off, but they're not going to go for it. Now Magnus has an opportunity to turn this on Cthulhu. Cthulhu trying to run away for the kill. Kelfield, wow. What the hell am I even talking about? I was going to say Glacial. I don't even know what the hell I was going to say right there, but clearly not the right thing, whatever it was. I'm just unable to get the kill on Cthulhu. Tries to get so with the Steam Bath, but obviously not quite enough damage. Steam Bath is only level 2. I'm kind of surprised actually he didn't go for Volcanic Touch to try to harass the Malakin out and lane a little bit. I really didn't need it all that much. His 280 GPM is just fine, but again, a little bit surprising. Kraken gonna waste Kraken right on top of Magnus's head. It's just like, okay, you're at half health. Good luck with that. Anyway, Kraken, now that his abilities are on cooldown, there are a couple of ports here, and the Hellborn side suddenly deciding that they don't want any part of that. Understandably so. By the way, I'm pretty sure that ward was misplaced. I don't know if it gives vision. So it gives, this is the radius. The question is, does it actually see anything? I wonder if... That's not what I wanted to do at all. Is it P that's supposed to do that? No. Interesting. P just pauses. Maybe it's K. That doesn't work either. I'm sorry. I'm discovering new things in the replay control. Apparently, this is a good time for this. Nice hook in the middle lane from Misery onto the Cthulhu. See if he actually doesn't have damage to finish this off. Cthulhu trample away. Hits the cliff. Although, to be fair, if he had gone further up, I think he might have been in range of tower and continued to take tower damage. So, might have been no way out of that one for YOLO Train. Bottom lane, meantime, we're going to put a stun, but a counter arrow onto the Malkin. And actually, he's going to take a lot of damage from that Claw of the Valkyrie. As Valkyrie then just ports or leaps out. And no further aggression coming from the Legion team. 7-2 here, kill advantage here for Night Raid. And they're pretty far up in terms of gold experience as well. 3k gold, 4.5k experience, sitting at a nice comfortable lead. Hook not going to connect in the middle lane. This Kraken was the target, but he hits a... hit a creep. Yes, Twitch chat, I am a Gold Division level caster. Thank you. You try doing this and see how much of an idiot you look. Valkyrie in his rune looking for something. Top lane, there could be some aggression like the two of them as well as they're just kind of hiding back here with Legionnaire. They're going to jump him, and before he gets the trample off, they do lock him down with a taunt and a decapitate right there. The global silence coming out from Vindicator to stop him from being able to get away in any capacity. Valkyrie still with the invis, looking to find something to kill as Magnus, in fact, is wants to be collapsed on, but they don't realize that they have a counterpart in the Valkyrie arrow right in onto Pyromancer's face. One more auto attack will finish her off. There it goes. Valkyrie will leap away, going to give the move speed bonus to Magnus, and that's going to be the end of that. Malakin looking for something else, and yeah. Looks like that'll be it. No, Kraken charge actually going to miss as Misery's just like, alright, fine. Cancels the Devour before the stun actually hits him from his ultimate as Lob surges there. Didn't hit Malkin in the back end. There should be enough to lock down this Kraken. Fear Effect doing a fair bit, but he actually charges into it. I don't know why he did that. Would have been enough to get away if he had gone to the right. Instead, goes for a very silly play. Malkin trying to chase down this Valkyrie. Sword Throw will finish her off, and now Misery perhaps looking for a counter as he's got his hook back up, but doesn't really want to go for it apparently. In the background, actually, Tempest going to get hooked back in. Trample will stop the Steam Bath from Magnus. They kill Ganal on that Tempest. Meanwhile, Misery in the background is falling. Are they going to be able to chase down this Magnus? Yes, they are. Obliterate is there. And now Cookie's actually going to dodge the Pyromancer stun and should be able to walk on out. Has the Ghost Marchers actually, which is really strange build. He's probably going to pay for that a little bit here, as that's really not helping him very much. And he's going to be taking a lot of damage. Phoenix Wave gets the kill, and TZP picking up a number of hero kills, total of 4 in that engagement, as Misery actually bought back and pushed into the bottom lane. Alrighty then. Not really what you're looking for. So despite that bit of a poor end to that whole engagement, Night Raid still expanding their lead in general, as Present 25 was spending that pretty much that entire time free farming the top lane. He's currently at 415 GPM, so not where you want that to be. And Vindicator has had some issues in general in the carry role, most notably because he is so squishy. He has no escape mechanism, he has no CC. And for the most part, heroes like that don't get away with stuff in the current metagame. It's too easy to catch and kill them. The only hero that really fits that bill that does have some success is Soul Stealer, and I believe that's mostly because he gets Portal Key, A, so he can be a little bit more careful about his positioning, so he can, jump in from farther, and B, he's got a little more burst damage and a little bit higher farming potential because of the even hand, so he can get some stuff from range. Anyway, bottom lane, Arrow not going to connect as the Tempest Hole going to lock down Magnus, and really nothing you can do to get out of that. I don't know if that was completely necessary, but I guess he did have the Steam Bath. No, it was actually on cooldown. Either way, they get the kill, so not that bad. Tempest Hole not super valuable this early on. And is any further aggression in the bottom tower? No, it's not. Speaking of towers, Night Raid has pushed the top one already. Middle one getting a lot. At least Kraken completely missing on Devour. They will take a couple more TPs although actually Devour gets the kill here. We'll see if if he pays for that. It's just one TP. I don't know if the second one was cancelled. I thought there were two. But it's going to have to get Devour to back off a little bit. He still does get the power kill. He doesn't pay for it though, so I think Misery will be just fine with that trade. He's going to continue farming in this middle lane. Let's see if he pays for this now. Sword throw being faked all over the place by Malikan. Finally does connect, but a nice push book over the ledge. As he ends up going the push book route of the portal key, and that might have saved his life right there. Meanwhile, top lane, it is YOLO Train dying. Skip back, and it is the gank from Vindicator doing a lot of damage. Regenerate on him. Actually, that means he doesn't lose any mana or health. Meantime, Brain Drain is that just an artifact of a previous thing or something? Apparently, Magnus with a good stun. Well played. And time, Legionnaire gets aggressive in his farm. Once again, I'm discounting the kill potential of Present 25. Apparently, double damage here and doing a lot. Gets the kill on Malikan. Okay. Not bad. Sounds going through, and he's going to try to check those Kraken, though. A little bit too tanky. We're going to see a counter as here comes the Cthulhu. Won't be able to get the stun onto the Vindicator. Hook actually hit the Cthulhu. It's a pretty nice needle threading right there from Misery's Devourer. Cookie's going to jump forward, looking for the taunt, but actually Vindicator in a bit of a bad position. Blazing Strike right on his face, and he's real dead. Lava Surge from Magnus completely whiffs. Hook on the Tempest gets pulled back in. That's a pretty easy kill. Release the Kraken and the Phoenix stun, or Dragonfire stun. Eruption not doing too much from Magnus either, because he does not have Portal Key quite yet. He just got it delivered, so maybe he thought he had it, but he didn't in fact. And they're stacking stuff a little bit there, but that's going to be enough. Arrow is going to connect on the back end onto the Pyromancer, so he definitely took through that in anticipation of hitting the Kraken, but he died just at the right time, and Pyromancer happened to be in a good position to eat the arrow. And it's like Malikan unable to do anything else as he comes back into the fight. Didn't buy back, just natural respawn. So Night Raid, things are getting a little bit out of hand in their favor. Top towers going to go down
have overrun a Legion
as
SOB.
well. And they're taking no bot tier towers. In fact, this one's still quite alive, but nonetheless in full control of this game. And once again, it's Misery at the forefront, 450 GPM, plus 465 even. And he will end up doing a lot, really, in this game to get his team the victory, assuming that they actually do come through with a win, which at this point is pretty likely, I would say. You're not farming that short lane Vindy at 440 GPM. Not all that surprising, considering he's 9-2-2, and Vindy isn't really exactly a flash farming hero. Misery, the Invisrune, looking for something. Bottom lane, meanwhile, I'm completely missing that because it's going to be Kraken. Is he going to have enough damage? Yes. The last auto attack from Valkyrie, or not from Valkyrie, Vindicator, one of them V heroes, very helpful. Invis on Devourer is now going to get double invised, and he's going to actually get the Ro8 down as well. Obviously they can't see him as he can toggle that, and he will be pushed forward, puts the ultimate through onto Gnal on that Tempest, prevents him from using the ultimate. Once again, Gnal taking an untimely death. Valk Arrow, did that hit anything? No, it's Pyromancer's just kind of hanging around here, so if Valk had run the other direction, that would have spotted the Pyro, but it's unfortunate, and they're going to address the fact that they haven't taken the bot tower quite yet. Appropriate.
The Hellborn have overrun a Legion FOB.
See if they can actually get anything out of this in terms of hero kills, but shouldn't be a problem to take down another tower. And look at the overall farm of the Hellborn. It's pretty substantial, 50 GPM on both the Magnus on the any Legionnaire, 450 or so on Devo and Vindy. Even Valkyrie having a solid time at 190 gold per minute. She will drop an arrow through the trees. Not going to hit anything though, as it is pretty easy to see that one coming.
The Legion have overrun a
Misery goes
Hellborn
from this.
FOB.
And it looks like they will be going for the Gongor kill here. Obviously, the arrow used right off the bat took a 5-second stun. Staff the Master, by the way, picked up by Legionnaire, so a bit of a troll item, but not strictly. We'll reset all of his cooldowns after they get kills, and they do have 19 of those, so it's not like they've been having issues taking heroes down. And in the middle of a big team fight, LEGO will be able to do a hell of a lot in these engagements thanks to that Staff Master. The thing they have to be more concerned about is the fact that he doesn't have a portal key, and the fact that he has Ghost Marchers and no real regen outside of that Staff Master, so he's not particularly tanky. He could run into mana problems for that matter as well. But I guess he's got a token now, so that'll make him tankier, sort of. Staff the Master also on Devour, so he's going to get the heal effect from his ulti. Is this just staff game? Is that what's happening right now? Does Vindy have a staff effect? No. Valkyrie does not. No, and Magnus does. But I'd be kind of surprised to see him get a Staff Master. Hey, maybe Night Raid really aren't taking this all that seriously, and maybe they shouldn't. Anyway, they get the stun. Yes, they are. As looks like Count Crapula going for the teleport. Not gonna find it. 400 GPM on this Malikan, so he's not actually having that bad a time in terms of farm. It's the rest of his team that's really has no capacity to support him at this point. 250 GPM on the Tempest is the second highest farmer on the Legion side. Valkyrie arrow connects onto Pyromancer, just trying to get away. Basically just ran right into it. Kraken ultimate, they're going to try to counter on this Devourer. We'll see if they actually have enough to lock him down. He's pretty damn tanky. They do. Look at that kill. So Valkyrie and Legionnaire unable to do anything to save their buddy. Yeah, bait, standard. I think good counter would come out from Malga as well. Everybody keeping away here on the Legion side. They can't even farm their own woods successfully, so Night Raid doing the smart thing and saying, look, we are pretty damn far up. There is no way that you can safely farm your own woods, so we're going to take your resources away from you and force you into an even deeper hole than the one we already dug and thrown you in. And then giving you a shovel. Meanwhile, that Vindicator might have been spotted out by the Rev Ward, but instead of going to open up on the Tempest, no problem. Global Silence actually going out in the background once again. Pyromancer catching an arrow. Next going to die right off the bat. As really way too squishy to eat that much damage. And survive. Bait. I don't know. Jump from Magnus? Not going to find anybody, because they're not forming the hard camp. Not quite stupid enough to do that. Obviously, don't want to get countered and killed. There is one portal key on the Hellborn team, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see more relatively soon. We also have 3 push books. Magnus Devour actually ultimately going to come in through on the Cthulhu for a 2-man Lava Surge as he goes down right after that. Arrow did miss, but so does the Kraken ultimate. And now Tempest is going to be chased down here. We'll see if he puts the ultimate down. He does, in fact, but he's going to get killed in the middle of that. Misery is still alive through this whole thing. He's way too tanky. He actually eats the Blazing Strike as well. He just does not care. Magnus has the Eruption. Really doesn't do all that much damage, but Pyromancer is so squishy it doesn't matter. Decapitate from Cookies is like dunk my kill. And the tablet, not enough. As Misery trying to save Magnus. And probably not necessary to disjoint that last auto attack, but it works.
The Hellborn have overrun a Legion FOB.
Tier 2 tower gets taken down in the middle lane, and Cookies and Legionnaires like, I just kind of want to end this game, as the entire Legion team is dead, and there's really no point in me doing anything. Count Crapula is in fact the one who was dead, as he wasn't dead, and now he is. Hellflower preventing him from leaving, and he's going to take that shot, so CC vote being called there by the Legion side, and I do not begrudge them that. It is 24k gold, and they're down 27
A valiant effort,
kills.
warriors.
Yeah, so
The Hellborn flag still flies!
not bad, as the guys on Night Raid take, I perhaps expected 2-game series victory. And they really outplayed their opponents in most facets of the game. I don't think that they necessarily outdrafted them, especially in the second game, but clearly misery on point here, 475 GPM in game 2 after a pretty fantastic doubles performance in the first game. And well, if you're going to do that, if you're going to win mid that hard, it's going to be difficult for the other team to come back, because obviously mid is a very critical lane when it comes to playing HoN and playing MOBAs in general. So, well done to Night Raid right there. Misery, perhaps the MVP of the series, and well done to him. But most players on that team had a pretty solid time. Nightmares, in fact, had a very good series, so all sorts of credit to him as well. Present 25. Bubbles in the game 1, 11, 1, and 4 on Vindicator in this game 2, 557 GPM as well. So, really, everybody, good series. I didn't say anything about Cookies or King Plato, but they had a nice time as well. And I'm going to be seeing TZP drop to the losers bracket. I wouldn't be surprised if they continue off there for a number of games, number of series, as they're better than bowing out in the losers bracket round 2, which is what it would be. So they're expecting to see a little bit more of TZP, not only because they have not casted their loser bracket round match, but also because they should be advancing past that stage in the tournament. But as far as this series goes, that's going to do it. Night Raid, taking it 2-0. They move on to the winners bracket semifinals as TZP drops to the losers bracket round 2. Thanks for joining, guys. That'll do it for this game and this series.